Okay, so the first function, accepting deposits. Under deposits, we saw there are three types, right? Demand deposit, fixed deposits, and savings deposits, right? So these are three types of deposits we saw in our last class, right? Demand deposits. Demand deposit is also called as current account, right? And here the interest rate is nil, very less, or there is no interest rate. Usually there's no interest rate paid on this deposit, this type of deposits, but even if it is paid, it will be very less, right? Then the second type was of fixed deposit, or it is also called as time deposit, right? Here the interest rate is very high, right? 6%, around 6%, more than 6% in fact. Then the third type was savings bank account, right? Savings bank deposit. The second function was giving loans. So we also saw how like how many ways bank is lending the loan, right? The first one was overdraft. By allowing an overdraft, what is overdraft? That is, more than whatever you were holding. A person, whatever a businessman, whatever the businessman is holding in his or her deposit account, that is current account, more than that also that person can withdraw the amount. So the bank is giving that facility of withdrawing more than what you're holding in your deposit account, right? So that is called as overdraft. This is how the money is, the bank is giving out the money, right? The second one was by creating a deposit. So by giving loan, they motivate people to open an account and put their money or deposit their money in the same bank, right? So this is how they are motivating. Then discounting bill. So I gave you all example of this, right? There's a bank B, there's a person A, and there is another person called D, right? So A person is giving a bill of exchange to D person, and D person can go present that bill to the bank, and bank will give that money, whatever is written on that bill, like say 1,000 rupee, then that bank will give that 1,000 rupee to the person D, uh, except for it is supposed to cut some money from this as a service charge, as commission, and not exactly 1,000 rupee the D person will get. Instead, some money will be deducted from this 1,000, say 100 or 75, something like this. Then the rest of the money will be paid to the person D, right? And then the bank B will get that money which is written on this exchange bill, that payment, I mean the repayment of the money, it'll get it from the person A and not D. Okay, so this is how the discounting bill works. Okay, so now we have to look at this remitting of funds, right? The other function is remitting of funds. So far any doubts, if you have, you can ask me in those two functions, like deposits and giving loans. Otherwise, we'll proceed with the other function, that is remitting of funds. So if you all remember, I have told you all about this word remittances, right? What is remittances? Can anyone tell me?
Deposits.
Deposits, okay. Basically, this is like deposits or money transaction which is done by foreigners, NRIs. I mean, not foreigners exactly, but the citizens of India who are residing outside our country, okay, overseas. So NRIs, when they are outside our country, what do they do is, when they are earning outside our country, when they want to send money from that country, say from US, a person A is working somewhere in US, okay, and if this person wants to send money to India, then this person A can approach a bank, right? He or she can go to a bank and ask this bank or deposit his or her money in this bank and ask this bank to pay it in uh, pay it to his or her parents in India, right? So the bank will do this function of intermediary now, right? The bank will take the money from A and give it to his or her parents in India, right? So this is called remitting of funds, right? So I'll just quickly read out what is written. Yeah, any place is very important here. Okay, bank remit funds for their customers through bank draft to any place, right? This should be very clear. You can see any place it is, like from US to India, right? It does not matter where you are, from any place to anywhere, the bank is, you know, doing this, helping you out in, sending your money, right? So any place where they have branches, right? This is very important. The bank should have branches basically, or agencies. Agencies will also work. Yeah. This is the cheapest way of sending money, right? It is also quite safe. It is also considered to be safe. Funds can also be remitted to foreign countries. Yeah? So this is one function, remitting of funds. Now we'll look at some more functions, some miscellaneous functions. Under this, the other function will be safe custody. So safe custody, what do you understand by this? You must have all heard of people keeping their jewelries, gold jewelries in banks, right? They keep their ornaments and valuable documents in the bank. Why do they keep it so? For safety, right? And for that, the bank, I mean the person who is keeping his or her salary, I mean this ornaments or jewelry there in the bank, will have to pay a little bit of service charge, right? Small sum, right? Payment of a small sum. So this is another function of a bank, that is safe custody of your valuable things, right? So ornaments and valuable documents can be kept in a safe deposits with a bank in its a strong room fitted with lockers on payment of a small sum per year. Thus, the risk of theft is avoided, right? Thus, you are avoiding the risk of theft, right? By keeping your valuable things in bank, right? And bank is doing this work for you of keeping your things in safety, right? So this is another function, safe custody, right? Now the other function is agency function. So bank also acts as an agent, right? Bank is acting as an agent in your financial transactions. So the bank works as an agent of their constituent. Like how does it act as an agent? It makes payment for you, right? If you ask it to make payment, then it does it. If you ask it to receive money for you, it does it, right? If you ask it to make payment, yes. So all these kind of functions are performed by bank. In this way, bank is acting as an agent, right? So the bank works as an agent of their constituent. They receive payment on their behalf. They collect rents, dividends on shares, etc. They pay insurance premium and make other payments as instructed by their depositors. Like however you are instructing the bank will do that work, right? So this is how the bank is acting as an agent, right? So they accept bills of exchange on behalf of their customers. We just read about bills of exchange, right? Under discounting bills, that is of 1,000 rupees bill, which had a maturity of 1 year. On behalf of their customer, they pass bills of landing or railway receipts to the purchasers of goods when they pay for them. This amount is passed on to the suppliers of the goods. So this is how the bank is acting as an agent. Then the other function is references. References. So bank can also be your reference, right? You can use bank as a reference to show your position, your financial position, your financial position, right? So they provide references about the financial positions of their customers when required. They supply this information confidentially. This is done when their customers want to establish business connections with some new firms within or outside the country, right? So whenever you're going for any business, then you can, take the help of bank for giving reference of yours, right? And this is how, you can build up your trust among the other your business partners, or yeah, where the people with whom you're doing business, right? And the other function is letters of credit. So letters of credit is basically just a letter, okay? A letter which mentions that the person is eligible, or the person can be paid some amount of money by any bank. So this is basically issued by one bank. Say a bank, SBI, is issuing this letter of credit to person A. Okay, this letter of credit to person A. Now this person A can go with this letter of credit to bank, say Bank of Baroda, right? So this is just an example for you. So the letter of credit is issued to person A by bank SBI, right? And this letter of credit can be used by person A to get some money from Bank of Baroda. So this is basically like, um, it acts as a security, or, you know, what do we call this? Okay, in order to help the travelers, the banks issue letters of credit. Travelers check. A man going on a tour takes with him a letter of credit from his bank. It is mentioned here, it is mentioned there that he can be paid sums up to a certain limit. He shows this letter to banks in other places, which makes the payment to him and debit the bank which has issued the letter of credit. So this is like kind of a security which is given to this bank, Bank of Baroda, by SBI, right? So in case this person A is not able to give back this money, whichever he has borrowed it from Bank of Baroda, then the bank SBI will come to its rescue, right? Then the bank SBI will be responsible for making that payment, right? So this is how this letters of credit work. So that's it under these functions of bank. If there's any doubt, you can ask me. Yes. So these are the functions of bank. Okay, we'll quickly revise whatever we've studied today. So we saw remitting of funds, right? How the bank is remitting our funds, right? That is sending, helping us send our money from any place to our home country, say, right? Remitting funds. Then under miscellaneous functions, we saw how the bank is acting as a safe custody for our valuable things, right? The other function, we saw it as a agent, right? Agency function. So the bank is acting as an agent, right, in carrying out our financial transactions, like making payment or accepting our payment, our deposits, right? Then it is also acting as a reference, So it is giving, you know, the status of your financial position, and which helps in your business activities, right? Then the other function is letters of credit. So here is the example for that. The letter of credit, it is used in that letter of credit, it is mentioned that the person can be paid some amount of money by the bank, right? For which the SBI will be obliged to pay in case the person does not repay it, right? So these are the functions of banks. Any doubts? I'm sorry, there was some network issue. It just got disconnected. Okay, is there any doubt? Or can we proceed to a new topic? So that topic functions of bank was a very important one. You can expect a 10-mark question on that. Bank in Karyagalu. Now we have to look at another not so important, but just because it is mentioned in your syllabus, and maybe you can get a 6-mark question on that. Money market. The meaning of money market and components of money market. Money market, Hanada Pette. Okay, under money market, you can make a note of the definition of money market. Okay, I'll share a PDF with you all tomorrow for this money market. For today, I'll just give you all introduction and meaning of it. You can make a note of the meaning. Another payte, money market. So basically, money market is a market wherein the, you know, you make the lending and borrowing. The lending and borrowing of in money is done for a short period of time. That is 1 year. Okay. So money market is a market wherein the lending and borrowing of money is done for a short period of time. That is, say, 1 year. Okay. So you can make a note of the proper definition of money market. Money market can be defined. Money market, please make a note of it. Money market can be defined as a market for short term funds, for short term funds. So it's a market for short term funds. Short term means it is 1 year of time. Okay. Short term funds with maturities, with maturities ranging from that is, the range is of overnight to 1 year. Overnight is today night, from today night to 1 year, anytime, right? Overnight to 1 year, and includes financial instruments, and includes financial instruments that are considered to be close substitutes of money, that are considered to be close substitutes of money. Close substitutes of money, full stop. Money market transactions could be both secured and unsecured. Secured and unsecured. It means that there can be collateral for that money what you're lending or borrowing, or there may not be any collateral, right? Secured is where the collateral is given, right? What is collateral? Any security what you're giving, like you can say that property, you can keep your property, that I want some loan and I can keep my property for this, right? So that a property can act as a collateral or a security, or government securities can also act as a collateral, right? So money market transactions could be both secured and unsecured, that is without collaterals, as we will see ahead.